Pixel art isn't just a style. It's a mood, an atmosphere, a unique way to tell a story without thousands of polygons or photorealistic textures. It feels like a return to a time when imagination and a sense of adventure mattered most. But don't think pixel games are just nostalgia for the past. Today, this style is finding new life in the most unexpected genres and forms. In this video, I'll show you the freshest and most striking representatives of the new wave of pixel art games that don't just look cool, but also surprise with their ideas, mechanics, and mood. Let's start with Fretless, The Wrath of Riffson. The game tells the story of Rob, an ordinary musician who finds himself in a world where the villain Rick and his label, Super Metal Records, enslave the best bands through the battle of the bands, turning every note into a tool of control and destruction. Armed with a fretless instrument and backed by his wild, rock-loving friend, Rob sets out across musical landscapes to wreck the villain's plans and free the trapped artists. The gameplay is built around turn-based battles where every move is part of the composition. Choosing the right riffs and syncing with the beat powers up your attacks, and combining melodies with crescendo blasts lets you pull off truly epic musical strikes. Building a deck of unique riffs and effects gives you total freedom in your tactical approach. Fretless also features a tight timing system. During each move you watch for indicators, and landing a click at just the right moment boosts your damage and adds extra bonuses. Another key mechanic is instrument customization. Besides his 6-string guitar, Rob can pick up a bass, an 8-string, or even a synthesizer and swap bridges, strings, and pedals, changes that don't just alter the look but also tweak your riffs and combos. Visually, the game wows with detailed pixel art. Forests and cliffs literally dance to an invisible rhythm, and percussion monsters hit you over the head not just with sound, but with a flurry of animations in perfect sync. Every location feels alive and reacts to your music. The soundtrack deserves a special mention. With genres ranging from brutal metal to tender indie, the music itself is a standalone masterpiece. With a playtime of around 10 hours, Fretless is a great pick for anyone looking for a short but unforgettable musical adventure. Whisper Mountain Outbreak, a psychological horror game where you and your friends go on a tense co-op expedition to the mysterious Bicyc Mountain, where an ancient evil awakens in 1998. The gameplay blends survival horror, co-op, and escape room elements. Up to 4 players gather resources, solve puzzles, fight off waves of monsters, and explore abandoned locations to uncover the mountain's dark secret and escape. You'll have access to melee and ranged weapons, survival tools, and a progression system. Choose your class, upgrade your skills, craft gear, and gain experience as you prepare for increasingly dangerous missions. Creature Keeper. This pixel RPG captures the spirit of classic creature collecting games in a top-down style. Explore the world, discover wild creatures, and tame them. They'll become your battle companions. There are about 50 different creatures, each with its own design and personality, and the game encourages you to train and grow every one of them. The game combines fast-paced real-time combat with farm life elements. Cook treats for your pets, grow stat-boosting plants, and level up your skills. Battles happen in real time, keeping the action lively and engaging. Whisper of the House, a cozy pixel art simulator where you help the residents of a small town clean, organize, and decorate their homes. This cozy organizing game is filled with a sense of calm. Beautiful locations, a soft color palette, and tons of interactive details turn cleaning into a meditative experience. You'll move furniture, decorate rooms, and uncover little stories about each resident, from surprises in the storage room to secrets hidden behind crooked walls. The game even features time travel elements. Cleaning the past can change the present. The Ember Guardian, an atmospheric blend of post-apocalyptic daytime strategy management and nighttime tower defense combat, brought to life in vibrant pixel art. During the day, you manage your camp, build defenses, recruit fire-based creatures, explore ruins, and gather resources. At night, the real battle begins. Waves of monsters attack your base, and you take control of the Ember Guardian in twin-stick shooter mode. Every successful night unlocks upgrades to weapons, structures, and abilities, slowly turning your camp into an impenetrable stronghold. Kathy Rain 2, Soothsayer, the sequel to the cult classic 90s noir point-and-click detective game, where a private investigator takes on a chilling case involving a serial killer known as the Soothsayer. The pixel art brings a gripping, interactive story to life, filled with cleverly designed puzzles that will tear you apart as you examine evidence and connect isolated events into a larger picture. This second chapter features rich storytelling and cinematic cutscenes, enhanced by professional voice acting. Sharp dialogue, deep emotions, and well-developed character connections create a tense atmosphere where the investigation unfolds in dramatic and captivating ways. Kingdom of Night, an isometric pixel art action RPG steeped in 80s atmosphere, where you play as a teenager trying to save a small Arizona town from a demonic invasion and a dark cult tied to the plains of oblivion. The classic storyline, 5 demon generals, cosmic horror, and a coming-of-age tale, unfolds across an open world with free exploration, hero customization, and skill progression. You can choose from several character classes and shape your build through a branching skill tree while collecting unique gear and weapons. The gameplay feels like Diablo, but with the charm of Earthbound, a nostalgic 80s pixel world infused with a persistent sense of horror. UnderMine 2 continues the legacy of the original roguelike adventure, taking you into the procedurally generated underground realm of Delvemore. You start as a humble peasant and rise to hero status by exploring treasure vaults, battling monsters, and uncovering ancient relics. By day, you dig, gather gold and resources. By night, you fight off real-time waves of dark creatures. A new co-op mode lets 2 players team up. The game retains the best parts of the original, trading, hub building, and run-to-run progression, and adds fresh characters, powers, and expanded lore. Techno Banter, a wild mix of pixel art, interactive RPG storytelling, and rebellious comedy. You play as a bouncer at a legendary nightclub, where every night turns into a war of words, syllable duels that feel more like snappy dialogue shootouts than combat. Dive into a neon-soaked cyberpunk city, talk to locals, take on street gigs, explore underground culture and cult-like groups. Your choices lead to branching story paths and multiple endings, while each night on the job brings new characters, challenges, and stories. Dragon is Dead, a pixel art hack-and-slash platformer with roguelite elements, where you play as the Heir, a hero who can die and rise again, keeping loot and weapons for the next run. The game's dark fantasy style blends inspiration from Diablo, Castlevania, and Dead Cells. Wooden textures, rich shadows, and intense effects create a grim yet beautiful world. Gameplay focuses on looting gear, discovering ancient artifacts, and developing your character through a fluid, content-rich skill system. Grave Seasons, an unusual mix of cozy farming sim and dark supernatural thriller. You're a runaway criminal starting a new life in an idyllic small town. By day, you farm the land, grow crops, gather resources, and socialize with the locals. But once the sun sets, the tone shifts. Now you're hunting a supernatural serial killer. You'll collect clues, help townsfolk, craft protective gear, and make life or death choices that shape the fate of the characters around you. Guidus Zero, a modern grid-based roguelike in pixel art style, where every move is one square and battles play out in real time. Instead of classic turn-based movement, you dash across the grid, dodge enemy attacks, and strike with fast-paced precision. As you explore a bottomless abyss, you'll collect artifacts, spirit companions, and valuable loot while fighting corrupted minions and powerful bosses. Progress carries over between runs through hub upgrades, new character classes, and unlockable abilities. Tinkerlands, a colorful top-down survival adventure where you and up to 3 friends are stranded on mysterious islands. At its core, it's a classic survival game. You build a settlement, craft tools, grow food, and practice magic alongside combat and exploration. The charming pixel art features diverse biomes and cozy furniture items. With online co-op, an intuitive interface, and well-balanced crafting, the game is welcoming for both newcomers and seasoned adventurers. Despite being in early access, it's already earned praise for its blend of survival, building, and magic. Amazing Wizard, a fast-paced pixel roguelike inspired by Metroidvania, where you play as a wizard who creates spells by mixing elemental components, unlocking over 120 unique combinations. Procedural generation, kinetic combat, and rich visual effects come together with meta-narrative elements. You're rebuilding your memory and uncovering your true name. The handcrafted pixel visuals make every spell visually distinct, while whimsical biomes and varied bosses ensure each run is both a creative experiment and a tactical challenge. Atomic Exile, a top-down, post-apocalyptic extraction shooter set in a harsh desert landscape. You embark on raids to gather weapons, fuel, and food, everything needed to survive. The game strikes a balance between strategy and action, with stealth, vehicle use, and carefully chosen gear giving you an edge in different scenarios. Weapon mods, procedurally generated ruins, and the ability to repair abandoned vehicles add layers of depth. Each run is filled with surprises, turning every raid into a tense and rewarding survival challenge. Minds Beneath Us, an atmospheric sci-fi adventure set in a neon-drenched cyberpunk megacity, where you play as an advanced AI living inside the body of an ordinary man. The game blurs the line between human and machine, raising philosophical questions about consciousness, corporate control, and moral choice. Dialogue takes center stage. You listen to Jason's thoughts and decide whether he'll remain human or become a corporate tool. Gameplay combines point-and-click exploration, visual novel storytelling, and QTEs. You explore the streets, talk to citizens, trigger timed actions in key scenes, and gradually uncover the secrets of the city. Vampire Rancher, an unusual farming sim with a dark Wild West vibe. By day, you restore a rundown farm, shopfronts, and saloon in a remote town. By night, you become a vampire hunting for blood. Managing time and resources is key. You need to make the town appealing to humans, they're your blood supply. With simple controls and a quirky mix of cozy sim and gothic atmosphere, the game stands out. Skills like bat transformation and sunlight resistance keep things fresh, while you expand your town, develop your powers, and explore ancient ruins with a Western twist. Scavland, a survival action game in pixel art style, clearly inspired by the Ukrainian game Stalker. It's an isometric top-down shooter focused on exploration, resource gathering, contract missions, and intense fights over gear and vehicles. Set in an open world with procedurally generated ruin zones, the game channels the spirit of Fallout and Stalker. You'll find RPG elements, survival mechanics, and a heavy atmosphere of danger and discovery as you navigate through the wasteland. Primal Planet. In this pixel art Metroidvania, you play as a prehistoric hunter trying to protect his family from dinosaurs and cosmic threats on an uncharted planet. You'll explore varied biomes, from dense jungles to ocean depths, solve nature-based puzzles, craft weapons, and team up with an adorable dino companion who helps in combat and traversal. Spears and fire aren't just tools for fighting, they're used to overcome environmental challenges, making the gameplay a blend of survival, exploration, and prehistoric sci-fi action. Shattered Divinities, an atmospheric 2D action-adventure Metroidvania set in a world shattered by divine warfare. You awaken in the ruins of an ancient temple and begin a journey across a massive map with dozens of regions and hundreds of maze-like paths, battling powerful bosses and uncovering strange artifacts. The developers promise refined platforming mechanics, clean visual readability, and stunning pixel art that brings the mythic world to life. Each location tells a piece of the story, wrapped in epic exploration and fast-paced combat. Streets of Rogue 2. The sequel to the cult pixel art roguelike delivers an even more chaotic and generative experience. A procedurally generated metropolis filled with possibilities, from hacking systems and blasting into buildings to recruiting allies. Players can choose from dozens of character classes, each with unique abilities. The game also features 4-player co-op. You can build a house, start a gang, create chaos, or restore order solo or with friends. Streets of Rogue 2 turns every session into a wild story, full of twists, absurd encounters, and endless room for experimentation. Neon Abyss 2. The Neon Chaos returns in full multiplayer format. This fast-paced run-and-gun roguelike shooter now supports online co-op for up to 4 players, with an expanded arsenal and limitless item synergies. New systems include Faith, which shapes your build, soul weapons for deep customization, and the Fate system for gameplay variety. You can also collect and level up cute Hatchmon pets. These features drastically expand tactical possibilities, making each run feel more dynamic, strategic, and uniquely your own. Seeds of Calamity. A warm, pixel art farming sim with JRPG flavor, centered around restoring a world in ruins. You build a farm on the outskirts of the capital, plant magical crops, care for animals, cook, fish, and join in seasonal festivals. Your loyal companion, a magical spellbook, assists with recipes, quests, battles, and even helps during combat. The gameplay is accessible and flexible. Expand your village, gather resources, and enjoy cozy, relaxing moments. In dungeons, you'll face light tactical combat with RPG elements, while uncovering artifacts and hidden secrets. Neverway, a new pixel art RPG adventure blending horror with coffee sim mechanics. You play as Fiona, who moves to a secluded farm to start over, only to become bound to a dead god and forced to fight off emerging nightmares. The game offers a deep mix of mechanics: farming, fishing, crafting, upgrades, nighttime forest exploration, and investigation of a mysterious zone filled with haunting secrets. You'll build relationships with the island's inhabitants, unlock abilities through social bonds, and manage your resources as you work to repay the god for your immortality. Terminator and Oh Fate, a pixel art side-scroller inspired by the iconic Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Play as Sarah Connor, John Connor, or the T-800 as you relive key moments from the film and take on new missions, including the future war, with multiple possible endings. The game features richly detailed 16-bit visuals, a licensed soundtrack, and the full cast of characters, minus Arnold Schwarzenegger's likeness. It's a retro-style tribute packed with action, nostalgia, and a fresh take on a legendary story. Grimshire, a strange and unsettling farming sim with horror undertones, where you manage agriculture in a plague-ridden village. You'll grow crops, care for animals, preserve supplies, and work alongside the quirky, anthropomorphic locals to save the community. Explore the surrounding countryside, fish, gather resources, and engage in light JRPG-style dungeon battles. Your role isn't just to survive. You're a friend, a caretaker, and a lifeline for a town trying to recover from devastation. Welcome to Elderfield, a cozy pixel RPG with life sim elements, hiding mystery and the supernatural beneath its warm atmosphere. You arrive in a small town and take on familiar tasks: farming, fishing, cooking, nature watching, and chatting with charming locals. But soon, strange things begin to happen, revealing that Elderfield is more than it seems. Sunny mornings turn into uneasy nights, and casual conversations give way to eerie encounters. The game blends slice-of-life simulation with adventure RPG, letting you build relationships, develop your land, and dive into a story rooted in myths and folklore. Vessels of Decay. This pixel art action-adventure drops you into a post-apocalyptic world where nature reclaims everything. You play as two characters exploring abandoned cities and battling multi-phase bosses inspired by Norse mythology. Every environment is handcrafted, a dark, detailed canvas filled with overgrown ruins, supernatural signs, and haunting remnants of the past. You'll scavenge resources, uncover story twists, and face spirits tied to a world long gone. Downhill, an atmospheric journey through a strange world where day never ends and humans coexist with spirits. You're not just the player, you've struck a deal to guide a protagonist named Fade. But Fade is her own person with opinions, boundaries, and the will to push back against your choices. Your relationship with her is the heart of the story, and your bond shapes not just the narrative, but the game's ending. You can choose to protect or destroy, unlocking different skill paths. Fade's journey moves between two realities where time stands still and logic bends to magic. Expect puzzles, battles against time-frozen foes, unsettling immortality, and encounters with spirits who blur the line between ally and threat. The indie world never stands still, and behind its simple visuals often lies something truly powerful. So don't judge a game by how many pixels are on screen. One of them just might become the one that stays with you long after the credits roll. The Image Game Channel was with you. Have a nice day.